Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just doing one thing and then we'll go ahead and get started.
All right, I'll be right back.
Is it 6:30 on the agenda?
Yep. Well, it's almost 6:30.
Yeah. I know. 6:15. Did you, is it gonna be 6? Because when
No, 6:15. And I don't know why she keep asking the question.
Clean up this info set. Yeah. It was closed, but we all got confused that it's Indigenous People Day.
Right.
So we asked them, could they open up, even though it was on the calendar. She forgot to tell me that it was gonna be closed, but we have a staff person here, so we're good.
All right.
We're just, did you notice what time it started on the agenda? That's why,
I thought 6:30.
I think it's supposed to start at 6:15 though. Yeah, so.
Oh, that's 6.
I'm back.
Can we start early or we have to?
Yeah.
As usual, I've got people in from out of town. My house is like a hotel. They just got here from Las Vegas. I mean, they arrived like 5 minutes ago. Okay.
So normally, I think Dolores has the meeting scheduled for 6:15.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know we've only got like an hour, right?
Yeah, but for some reason, Laura adjusted the agenda. Maybe she just forgot. She made it 6:30. So I don't know. I think at 6:27, Dolores can go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get going. We don't have a lot on here tonight.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I wanted to call the meeting to order at 6:25. And we are going to review the agenda. We only have 2 items on there. We have to approve the agenda.
Oh, no. So, yeah, just 2 items and then we open up for general.
Okay. So everybody's okay with the agenda. We'll move on to public comment. Anybody's got any comments?
Down with Columbus.
What?
Down with Columbus.
Down with Columbus. Okay.
It's Indigenous People Day, used to be Columbus Day.
Oh,
Oh, right.
look, don't be saying stuff that's gonna get us in trouble. You know this thing is recorded. Seeing no public comments, I'm not putting that in the minutes. Down with Columbus.
Okay.
Let's move on to item 3, which is develop an outreach budget for the balance of the year. We talked about a budget, last time, but I'm thinking we're almost at the end of the year. We just have the taste of the thing on the 15th with the police department, Wilshire Division, and we have the Taste of Soul on the 21st. If we don't have anything else that's coming up, we wouldn't get a tent in time for it. We wouldn't get tape, huh?
We can.
But it's not a rush.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to try and get it done for Taste of Soul.
That's next week, isn't it?
21st.
Oh, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
But I checked Taste of Soul today for something else, and they don't have any more spaces available. So I thought that CD10 said we could share their
Yeah,
space.
we were going to be in with them.
Okay.
In Penn's tent.
Okay.
And the police department is giving us a table, a booth,
Okay.
so we don't need it for that.
Okay.
We've already ordered 1,000 of the flyers, and it's got Spanish on both sides. And we ordered the illegal dumping flyer. So we spent just about all of the 500 that we had allocated for that. So I don't think that there is a rush to put a budget together for the rest of the year. I think that if we're going to do a budget, maybe we should start in January, or we could talk about what we want to put a funding request in for January, maybe, or December. I don't know.
Well, I think as soon as we get it in, because it's going to take time. So if we go into November and we ask for $2,000 for these items, we can at least get it approved, knowing that we have November, the rest of November and December to purchase and get the items
Okay.
that'll be ready for January. But I don't even know, do we know, is Ciclavia, or do we have any idea some of the upcoming?
I have not gotten anything from any of the legislators, because I check Holly Mitchell's website. They send me stuff. CD10 sends me stuff. And then Comlogger, I've been getting a huge amount of stuff from them, but not anything that's any kind of activity. And I checked Isaac Bryan's website, and they don't have anything. So
I'll just say Comlogger's office, I get a lot from them. They put out, Sydney Comlogger is our congressional representative. She replaced Karen Bass.
Oh, okay.
So she's on the Foreign Policy Committee, so she put out a statement about what happened in Israel. Every day she puts out statements about this thing, about this thing.
every day.
Yeah,
But I haven't seen any activity events. Have you?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
So,
So Michael, if I could just, were you able to get a price from Print Depot on the cost of a canopy?
Yeah, here's what I did. Can you guys understand me? I was having some trouble with my microphone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. So I got a little bit of an education. I had purchased one of those pop-up tents at some point, and I went into this thing thinking, well, this is going to be easy. You know, we'll buy a pop-up tent from Home Depot or somebody for $125, take it over and have the artwork imprinted on the canopy, and that'll be it. Well, it's not that easy. And I went to see Dennis and visited with him and spent some time understanding the whole event tent world, for lack of a better term. And he told me, he said, listen, you can do that, but the flimsy material that they're made of, they will not last a season. I said, okay, so tell me what's going on. He said, listen, let me go back and do some research. Give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you. Well, he came back with a price of $770 for the event tent, including the mechanism, the whole thing. The what do they call it?
The frame.
Yeah, the framing and the canopy. And if anything happens, he'll replace the canopy lifetime with the artwork. So I said, wow, that seems like a lot of money. So I got on the internet and I went and looked at event tents with a couple of different companies. I found one that was willing to do it for about $220. And then I used Dennis's quote, which actually quotes what is called 79-ounce matte poly. So I said, oh, let me ask these guys what their material's made of. And their material at $225 was 8-ounce plastic, poly. So I said, wow, wait a minute. Dennis is quoting me a material that's 10 times as strong and at 3 times the price. Let me keep looking. So I went to a really big company who makes the equivalent materials, but their prices start at $2,500. And so that was the end of my education. At the end of the day, it was my understanding that we wanted to use a local guy if we could, but sometimes the local guy was more expensive than the competition. Well, in this case, Dennis is right in our wheelhouse. And so my recommendation would be to extend to him the offer to put together the equipment for us at $770 with a 6 to 9 lead time for delivery and business days of delivery. So that's 2 to 3 weeks. But we can't authorize that without the board voting on it, which puts us into next month, blah, 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 blah. But my recommendation is that we go with Dennis with the material that appears to be as good as everybody else's at a price that's very competitive.
So,
Quick question.
go ahead.
Now the printing, you're saying the printing is included in that amount.
Yes. Yeah, we have to supply him with the artwork. Now, there are some upsides to going to the larger company at $2,500. You know, they're going to give you multiple sides. They're going to give you a flag. I mean, there are all kinds of other things that you can do. And I said to myself, you know, if we were IBM or a big company, you know, and we were doing multiple events and we were trying to really attract attention to ourselves, that $2,500 might be a solid investment for us. But I think we're kind of a little mom and pop right now. Let's stay who we are. The idea is just to create some visibility and identity for ourselves as we grow our brand. And my recommendation again is to stay with Dennis, stay at home, and let's keep the money in the family, so to speak.
Okay, so to go back to what you said, it would be the canopy and the printing on the canopy, and plus the frame.
The hardware, 10 by 10 aluminum hardware is included for $770.
And there's you said a lifetime warranty?
On the printing. So if something goes wrong, he'll give us another one.
Okay.
And I will get that clarified and in writing. That was a verbal discussion. It's not included in the quote that I'm looking at. So, you know, at the green, if you give me a green light on this, we'll go back and put everything in a solid cement form. This conversation today was really to discuss the price point more than anything else. Whether we wanted to stay at the $200 for something cheap or go all whole hog at $2,500 and get something that, you know, corporate America buys, or to meet the happy medium for our needs, which is probably once or twice or 3 times a year.
So does this 770 include the tax?
I didn't ask that question. I got a solid quote that said 770.
Okay.
Okay, so Michael, this is what I'd like to know. When you say the printing, and I guess get clarification on that, it's the printing on the
Canopy.
The canopy. So if the printing starts to erode, he will put new printing. But if the canopy tears, he's not going to give us a new canopy.
I'll get the clarification on that if this is the decision that we want to go with. Again, this was we were just shopping for, you know, a rough end price. We're not finished yet, but you know, I'll pursue this down to the nickel and dime with something firm if this is the direction we want to go.
Well, it's sounds good to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, Michael.
Okay.
And we need an invoice.
Of course. No. I would get us a hard.
That's what we need to take to the board, and in November, November the 2nd or 4th, whenever we have our meeting. It has to be an invoice, which would include the taxes and all of that stuff.
Okay,
And that's
That's
what
fine.
the board will then vote on, and then Sarah will do the BAC. And when that's the exact amount that the credit card,
got it. I understand.
you know,
Well, this will be paperwork to reflect a hard quote for a purchase. I got it.
And didn't Laura ask for the invoice to be in QuickBook?
yes, but in this QuickBooks, is like when you go in to get some printing.
Mhm.
But I think in this case, if he's gonna get an estimate or get an invoice, it's gonna be like a piece of paper, yeah.
Okay.
I think the
Okay.
question I don't have an answer for is, do we have artwork?
We do, but Raheem is the one who's always worked with Print Depot on our artwork. So they may
Okay.
have some of our artwork already stored, but the question becomes, we have a lot of different logos, variations on our logo. Which one do we want? Just the graphic, the UNNC all the way across? Do we want it to the right? Do we want to also have UNNC.org email address? What other elements do we want on that?
So we need to design that.
Can you pull up that one that we had before? The picture of the thing?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I have that. Teresa sent that to me. Now, that's one of the reasons why I didn't put together a graphic for this evening, because it's pretty much what we want. Before we confirm and move forward with the order itself, I think it's probably to our advantage to have a set understanding of what he's going to do. And right now, I don't think that's clear. But that's easy to do. I mean, it's just hard to do within the framework of the committee meetings because we only meet once a month. But again, Dolores, she said there's no hurry on this. So, I mean, is it absolutely necessary that we have this buttoned down for the next meeting? Or can we take the next meeting and zero in on whether or not, on what we want to project?
Well, we discussed whether there were any other upcoming events. And as far as I know, no, but something may come up. So we have to decide whether we want to rush this and get this done in the event something comes up and we need a canopy, or can we just take our time with this?
Right. So is there, Teresa,
Hold on,
point
Michael, hold on a second. Or we could just ask the board for a couple of $1,000, and then we can decide how we want to use that, and then go to them when we have the exact elements. So we could, the next board meeting, we can say, well, we have some ideas. We'd like for you to approve $2,000, which will include this, this, and this. When we're ready for that, we will come to you with the exact invoices or the exact quotes.
Okay.
Or not. I mean, or we could just wait till we have the exact quotes and then say, can you approve this? You know, put it on the agenda and ask for approval right at that meeting.
I have a question because I'm not familiar.
Right.
Can we do an ad hoc committee meeting to finalize this scope?
I don't think so.
Ad hoc doesn't have to be broadcast to the public, right?
No, but what is that? I mean, and first of all, do we have to get approval from the board to have an ad hoc? Maybe we could go to executive, but you're saying an ad hoc,
It froze up.
is that what I'm hearing you ask?
Well, I'm using the word very loosely. What I'm trying to get at is, can we meet informally and decide this and then maybe take it to the executive board? How do we fast track this? That's the question. If we need to.
Okay, let me ask this other quickly.
Yeah.
I'm going backwards here on what you said. If we ask the board for an amount without any specifics, is that something that can be done?
Yes, we would go to executive and say, we're working on our budget. We have several things that we'd like to do. We'd like to get a preliminary approval for $2,000. We would go to the board and say, this is our plan. And they would say, okay, we'll allow you $2,000. But we still would have to come with the receipts
not
Exactly.
to exceed that 2,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that may be the way to go. I mean, since in the sense of at least knowing what we're working with, and then, if we come up with some grandiose ideas that makes this tent even too expensive or whatever, we have some flexibility.
Well, now, wait a second. I think we can control the cost. I
Yeah.
think that what's in question is the aesthetic. What do we want the printing to look like? Are we printing 3 sides? Are we printing on the top? Is there a logo involved? Which logo are we using? Those kinds of questions are the ones that need to be resolved so that we can give the printer something to do. And do we need to have a formal meeting to make those decisions? That's what I was saying by ad hoc.
So the reason why we have formal meetings and we're trying to be Brown Act compliant is to give the community an option, a way to see how the money is being spent.
And input.
And input. Now, we know we don't have a lot of community members, but there's still some requirement that we have to follow with that. So I hear what you're saying, Michael. We got to figure out if Raheem, who's now been resigned from the board, will he still give us the artwork, or is it somewhere we can find it?
We have to get somebody else to do it?
Yeah. And then are we still talking about T-shirts or some other things? So maybe it's best if we get all of the things we want, have all of the prices, and then go to executive and say, here, this is how much we want. This is our plan for the year, and have them approve that amount, and then go to the big board to approve each individual purchase. And that would still give us another month. That would give us, we can wait until November before the outreach committee finalizes what we want to do.
Yeah, but the outreach committee meets after the governing board. That's the problem.
It meets before executive. So we either have to decide today and then go to executive next week and then go to governing board. Or we can just spend our time on this, we can do some things in email. If we're making a decision, we're going to try to get these things. We can do some email. I mean, it's not a Brown Act violation to say, okay, here's the invoice or the estimate for this, here's the estimate for this. And then we come together next month with our estimates and then we all vote on it. That's not.
I'm not worried about the cost and that aspect of it. I'm worried about the aesthetic. How do we make a decision on the aesthetic? How do we do that? That's my question.
What? Okay, here, let me just pull this up. You guys go ahead, Doris, talk. Let me just pull up something here.
Well, I don't want to, Teresa brought up a thought a while back while we were chatting, and it made sense to me. I would like to put together something that we can take to the board, like if we're going to buy the tent, if we're going to buy T-shirts, if we're going to buy swag to go in the bag, get some price estimates, and then submit it to the board and say, these are the things that we're interested in doing, and we would like to have a budget of so much money, up to so much money, so we can spend it on this stuff.
Right. But I think
Michael, you see this design
yes,
right here?
Yes.
Okay, that's one design. There's another one with just these 4 letters, which stretch across vertically, so it'll be UNNC going across. And then we could also talk if we want to have our email address on that. So if you want to talk about what design elements we want across that banner, I think we can talk about that in. Did you say yes or plus?
I said plus.
Oh, plus. Okay.
There's the top of the tent, the part that faces the sky on 4 sides. Is that a place for the logo? I mean, there's a whole concept to this tent branding. And the question is, how and when do we make those decisions to incorporate the upcoming required meetings to get the approvals? I understand we can go to the board and say we need $2,000, but how do we arrange to spend that $2,000 and not with the shirts or the tent, those guys, you see that across the top? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're looking now now, do we do that on just one side? Do we do that on three sides? There are all kinds of options that we have available to brand the tent. And my question is, how do we make those decisions within the necessary meeting formality that we have to go through?
Well, why can't we just do it now? Okay, go ahead.
The decisions have to be made in the meeting.
Okay.
We can discuss, like you said, via email, this, that, and the other, but the final decision has to be made in a meeting, I think.
See, that's my
Yeah,
question. So
and
it
we
looks
still don't
like-
know the price.
This is-
Michael, sorry, and just one second.
Good.
Did he just give you the price for this or for all four sides? Or what kind of prices did he give you?
That's a good question, Teresa, and I don't want to speak out of turn. I'll have to go back to him and say, listen, I'll make the deal. You know what I mean? I don't think he's so rigid that he's going to, it's not going to affect the number per se. I mean, if it's 770 or 870, we can negotiate that, and I can get that formalized. But what I'm trying to understand is the timeline in order to get these decisions solidified. That's all.
Okay, let me get some clarification. Now, as the committee, do we have the authority to make the design decisions?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
so we don't have to go back to the,
No, it has to be
Executive
within,
order.
no, it has to be
Okay.
within our branding. We're not gonna change
Right.
the fonts or the colors or anything like
Mhm.
that.
but whatever we come up with out of committee, then that's the go, without
Yeah.
any additional approval. That's
So,
what I'm.
so for instance, you can give me I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So for instance, you can give me direction right now to go back to the vendor and tell him, we'd like to have branding on all four sides. Does it affect the $770 price? I don't think it will, but it's a fair question to ask. But then I have to wait a month to come back and tell you the answers. And that's where I'm having my trouble.
But Michael, we don't have any events going on, so to
Okay,
me,
that's fine. I'm fine with that. I just want to understand what my input is to this and what I have to do to meet a timeline, because I work on schedules. And as long as I know what my direction is and what I have to do, then I'm okay.
I had a quick question in terms of what you just showed, and I want to get back to what you sent out. What kind of information? I mean, we got the logos and the UNNC and all that. Is there any specific information, like you mentioned, the email, or is there a message that we're trying to convey for anybody walking by about UNC? Is there what? That's what I'm in terms of.
That's what
That's a
our
great
flyers are for.
But
The message to convey. This is just to.
but we could do something like this, Dolores.
Yeah.
I think I hear you, Ed. We could have, for instance, UNNC, our beautiful logo like this, and then maybe on one side, UNNC.org, so people know to go to our website. And then on the other side, I think we used to have one saying one voice, one
Well, that's what I
people,
mean.
one something, and we could have that on the other side. If we were to have, like the tagline you were talking about,
Right.
something, so if we were to do, that's what he's saying,
Right.
so.
Can I ask a question? In most cases, when we're posting our events, are we using the cyclic? I think that I'm saying that right. That we did the LA thing that was on Washington Boulevard. Is that our model where the sidewalk is behind us and the main straight event is in front of us, and then we have traffic walking back and forth on the sides? So we want branding on three sides for sure. And then we have branding on the sidewalk for people who are passing behind the tent.
Well, let me just say, for Ciclavia, you're actually kind of adjacent, so I don't know if people can see the sides or not.
Oh, absolutely. Because you're approaching it from either direction. So,
Oh.
yeah, these are the kinds of questions I'm asking to maximize our exposure with the tent.
Okay,
But then I understand your question, but each event depending upon your location and how it's, how it's, the traffic flow on it.
Right.
I don't, all of that. So, I mean, to cover every angle, you wanted on all four sides to cover any, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever,
because also,
whatever your boot space is at any given
right,
event.
and also, even with Ciclavia, when the bikes are this way, the tent, there's a sidewalk here, so some people are on that sidewalk, trying to avoid all of the traffic in the
Right.
front, so. So if I understand, we want to get a tent, we think we want to have some kind of branding, on all four sides, Dolores, is that?
Yeah, sound good to me.
And we need to determine what we want on each side.
Right.
Yes.
I'm just throwing this out as a question.
I think you're right. Go.
Should it be the same on all four sides?
You're
Michael?
asking me? My opinion would
You sure?
be the main branding on, let's call it north, east, south, and west, just or street side. And then you have that's facing the main thoroughfare as if you're walking right up to the tent. Then on either side of that might not be a bad place to put the email address,
The website.
the website. And then on the back, that's in question. What do we, maybe our motto goes on the back flap. And then on all four of the sides that face the sky, the logo, so that it's recognizable from any direction that you're coming. Oh, there they are. There's the tent for UNNC. That's just a thought.
What do you think, Ed?
Well, my thought is this. I thought we were going to go through the other. We got one more thing on the agenda.
Yeah, no, we can go through that. too.
I was this hope the thing you sent out,
Yeah,
and I thought we were going to have a discussion on that.
sure.
As to, and I
What you
think
sent out?
that's pertinent to how this tent is going to be, whatever
Design, okay.
Are
design.
you talking about the brochure?
Yeah, the brochure. No,
Not the brochure. Remember,
this thing.
let me just
She
see
sent
the
this.
agenda. I sent out,
Brand
remember last
presentation.
time, the presentation from Raheem
Oh, yeah,
and all of that.
Uh-huh.
So what? Hi.
Hi.
Did Laura put stuff in the agenda packet?
No,
She didn't put anything in the agenda.
I forgot,
Okay.
I forgot to give it to her.
I just don't know where I would find that.
Find what?
The presentations. Yeah, just go ahead and I don't know how to, because I don't access my email on here, and normally I save
How do I
things.
send?
If you're not, you're just gonna have to discuss it.
Oh.
Well, Michael, hey, Michael,
Yes.
how about pull it up, and then I give you authority to, and I can share the screen and you can share it.
For what?
The brand.
The branding.
Branding.
I don't have any of that information in my computer right now that I know of.
Yeah, yes, you do. What
Oh.
date did I?
Can you show me how to make it happen?
Yeah, just a second.
Okay.
That was September 25th.
On September 25th, I sent you an email.
It's a PDF.
With the tent?
No, no, I don't think the tent was on it. Just, it says branding presentation. I
Oh,
sent it to
boy.
September.
Okay.
Yeah, the PDF. And it's
I'm
also,
not sure I know how to do that right now. I'm on two different computers. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, but just look for my email to you at the,
It's more complicated than that, but I'll try.
oh,
Hold on. Because I have two different computers running two different things. And so I
Okay.
have to come off of, this computer is not for that business
I see.
because it's a bigger screen. But hold on, let me see if I can figure it out.
There's a mosquito in here.
Could be. They
Yes,
call them
because I-
ankle biters.
That's what I had, since we've been sitting here, I've had 2 mosquito bites on my ankles.
it's all ankle.
Fresh meat.
What was the date, Teresa? I'm sorry. What was the date, fresh meat?
The 25th.
September 25th.
I got it. I found it.
Okay.
And branding presentation, Raheem Dawson, and I have postcard portrait.
Right.
Which one?
Okay.
Branding presentation.
Branding presentation. So I'm gonna let's see, I'm going to allow you to share.
Hold on. I'm trying to open it. Okay, it's open. Okay, so you're
Right.
allowing me to share. Now what do I do?
So
Back
you,
in Zoom. Okay,
and you click share screen. And
okay.
now you should see the documents that you have open.
Yes. Okay, now listen. If I open that porn site, close your eyes.
Okay, well, just let that, when you share it, it's, okay, there you go.
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yay, Michael.
Okay. Good,
Okay,
I did
so
it.
he has lifting every voice. That was one of the taglines that he had. So,
Okay, I'll just make a few comments because, to be honest with you, I didn't read this thoroughly,
okay.
but the main thing I was
What page?
just in general,
Okay,
I was just going through that. I didn't see a specific as an outreach committee purpose. I didn't see an ask from the public. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is like we're presenting information about UNNC that people are reading, but not necessarily how it relates to them.
right, okay, I hear you. So let me just go, this is what Raheem and the Communications Committee presented to the board. He presented it to his committee because they brought in a consultant to show the direction he wanted to take.
Right.
So that's why he has statistics and he has some things like that. In the end, he came up with something very similar to this. I couldn't find that, I don't know where that is, so I didn't want to stress on it. So I hear what you're saying. All of this should be saying something to the community.
How we can participate.
Join us or something.
Or, get involved.
Can I interject a point, if you don't mind? I have a pet peeve. Nobody knows where they are in the footprint. We've not publicized a map of the neighborhoods that are united to form the UNNC. I think that needs to be really stated strongly. Is it, what we talked about the other night, I remember we were talking about a bench and we couldn't identify the most trafficked intersections within our footprint. And I think our footprint needs to be imprinted in at least the board members' minds. We ought to know the boundaries by heart, and we don't, because there's no well-publicized map of the UNNC footprint. And I think we need to list those neighborhoods that are in the United Neighborhood Council and where they are and what our boundaries are. I don't think we state that strong enough. I'm done.
Yeah. Something. So we have a map on our website. We do have a map, and it does list the different regions where we're all
Yes,
voted in. So,
but we don't put that out to the public.
Okay, going back to maybe that's something that should be on the tent.
Not a bad idea, Ed. I like that. I'm with you on that.
That would show who should pay attention to us.
I think it would be too small. I'm just gonna get my, I just wanna show you
The
something.
scale can be adjusted, I think.
Yeah, but how will you see it?
Depends on, the pyramid type. I'm not saying necessarily get rid of the tree or whatever, that's saying, but I'm saying, and we got.
Oh,
We're not gonna have the tree.
You're not gonna have the tree
Hey,
anymore.
that's not a bad idea. Why don't we take what we have there and superimpose that on top of a map of our district, of a UNNC footprint? And then in smaller print behind that, the little neighborhoods, the avenues, Fairview Heights or whatever, Arlington Heights, and show that little area where that neighborhood is. And then where north of Washington, in that area, what that neighborhood's called.
Or maybe on one of those sides, we could list
Yes,
the
something,
different sections that we have.
something. Jefferson Park, because if you don't know who UNNC is, then
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
that's what I think that's not clear to the general public as to what it is and what area it covers.
I agree, Ed.
And
So we could list Arlington Heights, Sugar Hill,
Yes.
Jefferson Park on
Yes.
the sides, and
No,
then maybe
nobody's,
that
no camera.
UNNC.org on the back end of the tent, maybe.
Yeah, because the map might not be as
If we look at the picture of the old one at where it's slant, okay, this is where they have the UNNC, and then on top of it, they have a big thingamajig. Maybe the map could go up there.
What's the thingamajig?
Huh?
You lost me with the thingamajig.
You know how to read that kind of language.
the same as a whatchamacallit.
Can you put that picture of the tent back up there, please? He don't know what.
Yeah, Michael, can you
thingamajig is.
stop the share, Michael?
Yeah, hold on. Stop share. Okay. Yeah, I got mosquitoes too. Good Lord.
Yes, the map.
Yes, but in
We
storage,
have a different one.
we have a poster, it's a 2x4 poster this big on foam board that has the map. And we could have that on an easel, so when people walk up, it's very clear, but, just keep going with what you guys were talking about, trying to bring this up. What one do you want? Tent?
No, the other one, that one right there.
Hey guys, I have to sign off for a minute. This is my mom calling.
Okay,
Just can you?
okay. See now,
Can you just
no, not that. I want to see the top. See there up there at the top where it slants down to UNNC? That could be a map.
Well, that was my thought. Either, and there's at least 3 or 4 sides like that. I mean, when it comes in a triangle, 3 sides or 4 sides.
What do you think, Teresa? That colored map, not the one that he's talking about.
Sorry guys, I'm back. She just wanted to make sure you guys made it okay. Okay.
Not that.
If what we are concerned about are the boundaries, am I gonna be able to see Crenshaw over here and Normandy and the boundary?
You know, Teresa, part of that is that there's this tent is not bold. It's that white with the orange tree. You can't even see the tree because it's the same color as the tent. If we use a strong color background, I think we can demonstrate the footprint of the district with the right artwork and the right dimension.
In the right font. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to take a minute to design this thing, but I think we can come up with something that makes a clear statement who we are.
That's informative.
Yes.
That's what I think is needed, is something that's just going to give somebody some information.
You don't like that?
I just wanna pull up this other thing, I'm just frustrated, I don't know where my glasses are. Do you remember the day we were in storage floors? I know you remember. There's something really cool in storage, and what my experience is, like the couple of times I've done cyclovia, is that people walk up to the tent, and what would be helpful is if we had that 2x4 foam board map on an easel, so people walk up and then they can see, because on that easel, the actual street names are listed. So then they can see, oh, look, I live on 8th Avenue. Oh,
Right.
and they have an idea that that's the West Adams Avenues,
Right.
or whatever is in
And
that.
it's kind of fun to pick out where you live on the map. That's a good outreach, public relations, interactive thing.
Right.
I think that's a
so-
great idea.
But you could do both.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I agree.
You can if you like. I just don't know how, when I see that, am I gonna really be able to see where I live on that, from that distance?
If you have your glasses on.
Oh, I see your point. Well, it doesn't have to be that, it doesn't have to be quite that detailed. If it's only, if we outline Crenshaw, which is a border, and outline Arlington, which is a border, and Jefferson, which is a border.
Right. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
Pico. I
Right.
mean, yes,
Yeah,
if we do
the
that, if we say
actual boundaries.
Crenshaw, Pico, and on this side, and then
Right.
down here say Obama, whatever, then
August the 10th.
August the 10th, okay. Thank you, Dolores. Okay, I'm good with it if we want to do that.
Mhm.
You know, I think that from a production point of view, I don't think we can, that's, we might be asking a bit much if it's on a detailed kind of a map on a.
Yeah, we don't have to get that much detail for that. That's a visual. That's a 10,000, if you will, a 10,000-foot flyby on the top. You're just flying over the district, and there's where we are. And then the 2x4, whatever the size of that is, it might need to be a different size, but it doesn't matter. You can get into the detailed streets, and people can look at it up close and go, "Oh yeah, here's where I live." And now you have interaction.
And we may, just as a thought, you may want to have maybe show the 10 freeway, how it enters.
Yes, exactly.
And people can identify with that as being, how close they are.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
this is the 2x4 that we have, and it has incorrect information on it, but something like that.
Yeah.
So
Dolores,
Yeah,
is it inappropriate in this environment that we're talking about to get our merchants involved in identifying the location of their businesses for a fee to help us fund this thing? Is that inappropriate?
I don't know that we could legally do that.
Okay, just a thought.
okay,
We'd have to find out from Know Everything Laura, but
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, Harold and Bells, where they're located, and just give them an arrow or something.
No, I'm saying that I think that's a good idea, but I don't know about the fee part. I think that just identifying the
Landmarks.
landmarks, or even like of businesses who want to be identified,
Yeah.
and then get their buy-in to what we're trying to do as far as
Because some people look at a map and get lost. My wife is one of them. But if someone's looking at that footprint and says, "Oh, there's Harold and Bells, I know where that is. Oh, let me find my house, or let me find the street I'm on," it gives them a point of reference to depart from. And so, just a thought. There are a lot of ways we can go with this thing.
for the fee part.
we can check with the city attorney, but I don't think we could legally do that.
Okay, that's fine. Just spitballing. That's all.
so let me if I could just recap where I think we are. Michael, you're going to check with, Dolores and I also deal with Esteban at Print Depot. But maybe are you talking to Dennis,
Yes.
The owner?
Yes.
Okay. So we want a tent.
And we want to find out branding on 4 sides and what the detail needs to be, and whether or not that affects the base price he's given me. I think that the main thing is to communicate to them that we've decided to move forward with them. Now let's make a deal.
Okay, so it's not just 4 sides, it's also, do we want it on we want the map on all 4 sides of the top of the tent?
Or
No.
something. No, I want to indicate that we want artwork on 8 surfaces.
No, just this front side, Dolores, what are you thinking about? This side here?
It was not my understanding that we were talking about doing all 4 sides up there with the map.
Yes. Well, all 4 sides with something. I think that's we can drill down. We can drill down at a different meeting on what those 4 sides would represent. Like, for instance, looking at the picture you've given us, Teresa, right now, if you're at the KJLH truck What are you seeing? What's your visual from that side?
Yeah, I don't even know, we don't even know what the KGJLH is. Michael.
No. My
It's a
point is,
radio station.
if you're
Oh.
in that van or coming from that direction and you see this big orange tent, what is it, what is it telling you from that side? Is there even any writing on that side?
You don't see anything but the big orange tent. It's not
Okay.
until you get in front of the tent that you will see any
That's
kind
not,
of
that's not
writing.
enough. That's not enough. We need more than that. We need to
Hold-
be
hold-
ready
hold
from
on a
all
second,
four
Michael.
directions.
Hold on, let Ed has a
Yeah,
comment.
what
sorry.
I'm- Okay, one question was, you mentioned you're talking with the owner, and well, you two have a relationship with the people over the print. Do they provide any kind of designs? Because what we're talking about.
Yes,
No.
they do.
Is-
Yes,
Oh,
they
they
do.
do?
Esteban does do that. But
Oh.
what I really would like is for Raheem to work with Esteban to work on that design. He helped, Esteban worked with us when we did the 20th anniversary to come up with the this and the
Well, that's what I'm saying,
thing.
because we talk about design elements and we're going,
Yeah. But I don't know if there's an additional fee, like there
Well,
would
that's
be a
what I'm
flat
saying.
fee
That's,
for the design.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
I don't think Raheem is invited. I think this is our decision. This is our table now.
well,
Okay, so I thought that we had kind of agreed that we would have our neighborhoods listed on
Yes.
2 sides.
Yes, on at least somewhere.
Are we
Somewhere.
talking about on the sides or on the slanted part of the tent at the top?
I think it's,
I don't think that it would be visible or be able to read it if we're listing it on the top. I think on the sides would be better.
okay, this is what I'm saying. I think we got the general idea, like a list of the different names of
Neighborhoods.
neighborhoods.
And I wanna go
We
back
got a
to-
map idea. We got the logo idea. And so I'm saying, right now, we got what we think we want on there, but we need somebody or a team of people to put it, so that it's, aesthetically pleasing and, effective. So that's all I'm saying. I
Okay,
think that
okay.
we've done enough.
I think, and I agree with you, but
I'm
isn't
gonna
that
tell
our
you, I
job?
have a strong aesthetic, so I'm not gonna sorry, Mark, I'm not gonna surrender
Go ahead.
that to Michael. My question is, are we still talking about orange, Dolores, and not white? We're gonna have this on orange?
No,
Never decided on the color.
Oh,
We never
well,
talked
yeah.
about it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that if we need some renderings or something so that we can, see if it meets your aesthetic or see if, that's all I'm saying is.
okay, I agree with you, Ed. Can I interject a point? Why don't we submit 3 or 4 things, be it logo, map, email list, whatever the thing is, and decide. It's a puzzle, guys. Let's put a puzzle together. And if we want to put a map on 2 of the top flaps and the logo on 2 of the top flaps, this is a puzzle that we, the 4 of us, should build. This is what we do. This is what the committee's about. We're going to brand an event tent. This is going to be fun if we look at it the right way.
All right, so where are we right now? What is Michael's taken back to the printer?
Michael,
Outside-
this is what I would like, Michael.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to join you and go over and meet with either Esteban or Dennis to
Yes,
explain what we're doing, to see what kind of logos and artwork that Esteban already has from previous UNNC work, and
okay.
then talk to him about some of these things. I'm willing to,
Conceptualize.
and to do that.
Okay,
For an agreement that we're going to have one map on the front part, is that what we're saying?
well, we're saying there will be a map somewhere.
Somewhere.
Okay. Okay, fine, we get to design ideas. And then I just want to go back, because we are the historic neighborhoods of Arlington Heights, Jefferson Park, and West Adams.
Mhm.
There are other people who are going to try to throw in Harvard Heights or Angeles Vista. That's not part of our name. Our name is Arlington Heights, West Adams, and Jefferson Park. The historic neighborhood, isn't that it, Dolores? I thought there were
Why,
three.
why are we limiting it only to 3?
Arlington Heights, West Adams, Jefferson Park communities.
Right, because, well, we don't have to, but those are that is part of our official name.
Oh,
So we can add, let's just say if we do add names, then we can't leave out Kinney Heights, and we can't leave out Harvard Heights, and we can't leave out Angeles Vista. I mean, we're gonna have to,
Western Heights.
or Western Heights, you know. We either can stay with the 3 that we know are part of our official name, or we could put the other ones in. Maybe it might look nice to have those other neighborhoods.
That's what I thought we were talking about.
Well,
Okay.
that was in list form, right? But wasn't that was a part of what you were saying, that we had each
Neighborhood, right.
neighborhood in a form, in a list form. But the map is just gonna be pretty much, like you said, a
Oh,
1,000
no,
foot.
I was thinking about around the sides. If we were gonna put neighborhoods named around the sides,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was saying. But then we're gonna need to make sure we don't forget anybody, Dolores. What are the neighborhoods?
It's on that poster.
This one I just showed you has the neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna have to end soon because I don't see those neighborhoods on here.
But they got
No, not this one.
I'm
Oh,
looking at a UNNC map that has the different districts
that one.
and
Yeah,
colors.
that was nice. This one. Okay, this is the one you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. This.
It has all the neighborhoods within our footprint on
Yeah.
it.
Right. Start with that. Let's start with that, and then decide how we're going to brand it. Whether we list the neighborhoods on the side or imprint them over the areas that they cover. We got a lot of work to do, guys. This is going to be
Yeah.
fun. This is going to be fun.
I think that map there, that's.
Can you see that, Michael?
I don't know. I'm looking at
On
Ed.
our flyer that Dolores that we distribute.
That's the map I was
Yeah.
talking about.
That little. I almost said a bad word. Here we go.
Come on, Teresa, let it out.
About going up there on the top.
Yeah,
Well, that makes sense.
yeah, and it's colorized.
Right.
So if we had it white, then the colors would.
I don't have a problem with it being white.
Okay.
We just never discussed it.
Okay.
Good grief.
Hey, Teresa.
Not only that, our logo would
Well,
probably
let's-
show up there.
Teresa, let's get together on an email and pick out a date to go up and see Dennis. I'm pretty busy, but I can do it maybe if we do it in the morning or midday.
Okay,
Okay?
I'm just.
I don't wanna set a
I'm gonna
time
text
now.
you
Let's-
this right now.
Yeah, I don't want to set a time right now. Let's think about it.
Okay, and I'm gonna message my phone.
Maybe Friday. Early.
All right. So I just sent something to you, Michael.
Okay.
Can you send me that, please?
Sure. Let me just. Message. I sent it to you as a text, Ed.
Oh, a text? Oh, geez.
Well, I can email it, just.
No. I just need, I see it. I just got it. Hold on. Let's see what it is.
Okay, well, we have to get going because the next meeting starts in a couple minutes.
Okay, well, we'll just pick this up where we left off. Can we do this, continue this without something formal? Oh, what's
Yes.
this?
I say you and I go, we meet, we get some ideas from Dennis, and then we do an email,
Yes.
send it out, and then when we come back, it's really about the money, and then we'll have the ideas.
Okay.
And then if the community participates, then they can participate in the funding of it.
I think at the end of the day, we're gonna find that Dennis is willing to work with us on the money. Because
Okay.
it's, we're creating, whether he does one side or two sides, I don't think it's gonna be a big difference in the cost.
Okay, well, we just spent $500 on printing. We know we want to do a trifold brochure. That's going to be a few $100s, so.
T-shirts.
Well,
And this is
T-shirts.
all with Print Depot?
did you
Yeah,
Oh,
Print
he's
Depot.
gonna love us. Oh, he'll love us. No, he'll love us.
design, if that's an additional fee?
Yeah.
That's my.
Okay,
question.
I'll make sure we understand.
So
Yeah,
our next meeting is the 13th
Yes.
at 6:15.
okay.
right.
November 13th.
I agree.
Yeah, November 13th.
What'd I say?
Wow, we can't meet before that?
If we do, it would have to be a special meeting, but I think we can, if there's something, we can share it in an email with the group.
Can we?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We're not making a final decision. We're going to do that, and it'll be a public meeting. And then if the community wants to come in, then they can help, they can see how we're thinking about, discussing about spending the money. That's really
Okay.
what. Brown
So
Act.
Dolores, can you put together a joint email for this subject that we all do?
What to do.
She's part of the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
A joint what?
A joint email for the four of us primarily, so that we can all be moving toward the same thing together. And is that legal?
You talking about a group email? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Michael, that's what I did with the presentation.
Okay.
I sent out to the
I
group.
don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You want to adjourn?
Meeting adjourned. At